Lately, I have noticed something showing up again and again in my work with leaders. We're having these really profound conversations about grace, but not the grace you might be thinking of, not the thoughts and prayers kind of grace, not the let's just let it slide kind of grace. I'm talking about the kind of grace that actually changes how you lead and how you show up. The kind that transforms your relationship with yourself and consequently with everyone you lead. Because here's what I'm seeing. High-performing leaders, people who are exceptional at what they do, are absolutely brutal to themselves. And that brutality is leaking into every interaction, every decision, every relationship they're trying to build. So today, let's talk about what grace actually means when it comes to leadership. And I'm going to be transparent with you. This is something I'm actively working on myself. Here's what most people think grace means: forgiveness. You mess up, you forgive yourself, you move on. Checkbox, done. That's not grace. That's just accounting. You're keeping a ledger of mistakes and pardons. Grace is how you treat yourself after you've acknowledged that you didn't show up the way that you wanted to. It's how you treat others after they've disappointed you or failed to meet the expectations that you had for them, including the expectations you have for yourself. Grace is the ability to sit with discomfort that comes along with messing up, with not meeting the standards or the marks that you thought that you could reach or you thought others would reach, and allowing that to be okay. Not beating yourself up, not talking down to yourself, not should've, could've, having yourself into paralysis. Instead, acknowledging what it is. Acknowledging that you're still breathing, that you have another moment. And every time you have another moment, you have another opportunity to show up and do something different. Here's the critical part. Beating yourself up in the process doesn't allow you to fully engage with the change you want to see. I want to be really honest with you about something. This theme, embodying grace, has been coming up constantly with those I'm working with. And it's resonating so deeply with me because I'm on this connected leadership journey too. Embodying grace is something I'm consistently working to expand and elevate. My humanness creeps in. My initial reaction when I mess up, or when someone disappoints me, or when things don't go according to plan, it's to judge, to criticize, to perform harder, to manage more tightly. That's my default wiring. Years of being a high performer train me that way. Yet, when I use the receive, perceive, respond method, when I actually take a beat, I'm able to infuse grace into my process. One thing I want you to understand about grace is that when you find that you're not doing something that aligns with who you want to be, or your values, or your morals, you show yourself grace. Not because you're lowering your standards, not because you're letting yourself off the hook, but because you can't change what happened yesterday. You can take all that energy that you've been using to beat yourself up, to criticize yourself, to condemn yourself, and to turn it forward. You can pivot. You can find a new way that does align with your values, your morals, and who you want to be. This is what I mean when I say grace is the ultimate demonstration of connection to yourself and to others. You can't connect with someone you're constantly criticizing. You can't be present with someone that you're perpetually disappointed in. And that includes yourself. Grace creates a psychological safety first with yourself and then with others. It allows for honest feedback, genuine growth, and sustainable excellence. Not the kind of excellence that burns you, the kind that builds you up. I know some of you are watching this and thinking, Dr. Kara, this sounds great in theory. But in practice, when I'm in the moment, when the pressure is on, when I'm triggered, I default to my old patterns. I get it. I really do. And that's why I built something specifically for this. I've created a virtual mind. Think of it as 24/7 access to our coaching conversations. It's trained in my entire connected leadership framework, including all the nuances of embodying grace that we've talked about today. When you're in that moment, when you just received feedback that stings, when you've made a mistake, when someone on your team has disappointed you, you can go to my virtual mind and get immediate support for how you move through it with grace. Not generic advice, specific personalized guidance based on your situation, grounded in the same principles we use in my coaching programs. You can access it at the link in the description. Here's what I believe. Leadership transformation doesn't happen in big dramatic moments. It happens in the small daily choices about how you treat yourself and how you treat others when things don't go according as planned. Grace is what makes those small moments into opportunities for connection instead of disconnection. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Where in your leadership right now could a little more grace, real grace, that kind of grace that creates space for growth, change everything? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if this resonated with you, share it with another leader who might need to hear this today. Until the next time, connect to yourself so that you can elevate and expand for those you lead.